I'm Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Lauren from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts
at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Landing. We're here to talk about HBO's Game of Thrones. We will only talk about episodes that have already aired, so no spoilers for any future episodes. Unless this was a future episode, but we weren't aware. Our bad, bro. I'm Jeannie.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Nikki, bro.
Okay, first up, we're going to have some news and fun stuff. But big news of the week. The first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones were leaked Sunday morning. Did you guys see this?
Yeah. I saw when you tweeted about it. That was crazy.
Yeah, I think they, based on the news releases that HBO has put out, it sounds like this was leaked from the DVDs that they send out to critics. Because what they do for critics for early reviews is they send them for every season, they send out the first 4 episodes that they watch and then review. Which is why you get like people like Mo Ryan saying things like the beginning, the first part of the season looks really solid, or it looks like it's weak, or blah blah blah. It kind of gives them time, and it sounds like one of those DVDs was burned and released on the BitTorrents. And a friend of ours suggested that it sounds like they loaned it to one of the critics loaned it to a friend who went, "Oh, look what I can do."
Yeah, I think that's probably a good guess.
I mean, because I've seen some
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I've seen some people speculate that this was done on HBO's part on purpose, but I just don't see the advantage that they would have to do that. They've gone out of their way this season to try to, at least from my perspective, try to eliminate the massive amount of piracy that's going on with the show by having it air simultaneously in 137 countries. HBO Now, launched just in time so that people who don't have cable can still get HBO. I just don't see the advantage.
I really don't either, especially because, like you said, especially with the Now, with HBO Now, because one of the main reasons why it was so pirated, in my opinion, is because you couldn't get it streaming anywhere. You couldn't watch it on Netflix. You couldn't watch it on Hulu. You couldn't watch it on Amazon Prime, or Amazon Instant Video. The only way to get it, if you didn't subscribe to HBO, was to wait for the DVDs and Blu-rays or pirate it.
Right. And HBO doesn't release the DVDs and Blu-rays until just before the next season launches.
Exactly.
Which, there's an argument to be made for patience. But everybody wants to talk about it when it's airing.
Right. Who wants to wait, another 3-4 months?
Yeah, because then you're like, did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. Where were you? Nobody wants to see that guy.
In Australia.
Yeah. Well, now the UK apparently is now where it's being pirated the most because Sky Atlantic has decided that they're not going to jump in the pool, and they're going to continue airing it on Monday nights for them.
Ah! That's funny.
So let's move into some of the fun stuff we found. We found this link over on Mirror of some funny fan theories about the show. One of them is Star Wars is basically Game of Thrones. Luke and Jamie both get their right hands cut off. They both make out with their sisters. They both have daddy issues. Basically the same.
I mean, some of that is spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little disconcerting. Another one. The three-eyed raven is basically Sean Bean.
Aww.
Poor Sean Bean.
And
I think he gets to live in that really bad Juno Mars sending thing.
yeah. And of course, everybody wants to know where Gendry is. Row your boat. He's still rowing.
Did you see his tweet? Yeah, Joe Dempsey, the actor.
Still rowing.
Aww.
Poor guy. I think my favorite is how Game of Thrones will probably end. Hodor is on the Iron Throne. Hodor.
I wonder what his crown would look like. Would it be a bunch of H's for Hodor, or would it be a meat crown?
Oh.
No, come on, it's Hodor.
That was just gross. I mean, it's not as bad as Lady Gaga's meat dress, but it's approaching. Who wants to wear meat on their head? I mean, really. Ew.
Lady Gaga, possibly those dragons.
No, she didn't wear a hat.
She didn't?
No, she didn't wear a hat.
It's a dress.
Oh.
It was just a dress. Also, the whole cast has been making the talk show circuit rounds. And Kit Harington was on Seth Meyers, Late Night with Seth Meyers. And they basically show this skit showing how bad Jon Snow is at dinner parties.
Pretty damn bad.
He's kind of a depressing guy.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Although one of the best things that I've seen is Key and Peele doing a recap of the show.
Oh.
They were funny.
What did you find, Rachel?
One of the things that I found was Saturday Night Live did a parody of season 5, introducing the 8th kingdom of Westeros, South Centros.
Oh. Let's not go there.
So, yeah, Kenan Thompson played the role of a medieval ice cube, saying something like, either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the kingdom. Talking about the Lannisters.
Yeah, because it was a big takeoff on Boys in the Hood. So it was directed by John Singleton.
Starring Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding Jr.
I've never seen that movie.
What?
Oi.
Okay.
Really, y'all are surprised?
That's going on the list.
Well, no, not really, actually.
Don't put it on the list. I'm sorry. I meant that I did see it. Yo, Boys in the Hood, yo. Something, yo. Yeah? Not believable?
No, not at all.
One of the other things that I found was an article about how Anna Kendrick says what we're all thinking.
Doesn't she always, though?
Well, she does, and she's really good at that. She's very well known for her frank and explicit tweets, and we all love her for it. This morning at 9:13 a.m., she tweeted, "Madonna kissed Drake. Hillary's running for president, but HBO still hasn't shown this dude's dick. Hashtag feminist priority."
Right?
We did see a lot of butt.
Well, we saw all kinds of men butt, but God forbid.
No.
But we saw one full frontal of a woman, none on the men.
Yeah. So, and she tweeted it with a picture of
Disappointing.
Daenerys walking down the street with Dario. But for what it's worth, at least we did get a very nice butt shot.
Several.
Well, yeah, I'm specifically, Dario Naharis.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other thing was, in preparation for the season 5 premiere, Jimmy Fallon created a video by splicing together clips from the 4 seasons of show to make the Pointer Sisters.
Oh yeah. It's
I'm
Pointer
so
Sisters.
excited.
Yeah.
I can remember who sang it originally, but
Yeah, Pointer Sisters.
So basically, each of the videos, or each of the characters saying, like, I'm so excited, with the music playing in the background. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was funny.
But I love Jimmy Fallon, so that had me laughing.
Because he lost to The Rock?
Huh?
Is it because he lost to The Rock?
Is that why I love him? No, I love him because he's hilarious.
Yeah. So what did you find, Nikki?
Oh yeah, a contest is going on at T Fury. Because I try to stay away from them because otherwise I have no money. I'm sure we're all the same way. But not only are they selling a bunch of Game of Teas collection, which, some of them are just pretty damn awesome. But they're also doing a contest, which I've already entered. I hope I win second or third prize. Okay, first prize would be the Hound's Helm. Boo. The second prize is the Sword of Jon Snow. Super yay.
Okay.
And the third is Daenerys' Dragon Eggs.
Oh!
Yay! So technically you don't have to buy anything, but if you want extra entries, if you buy a t-shirt, you get 5 entries. If you buy a poster, you get 2 entries.
Oh, wow.
So it ends on April 20th. So everybody get in.
I do need a Game of Thrones shirt.
Oh, they have, hold on. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 6 times 4 is what? 24 different shirts to choose from.
Wow, nice. Okay.
$17 a pop. BT dubs.
How much? The posters are only 11.
Again, I give them so much money.
I know. Some of the posters, though, are, like, really awesome.
You mean like the Song of Fire and the Song of Ice?
Yes.
Totally getting those. Can I have $22, guys?
No.
Yeah, when I get paid.
Aww.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday.
Damn it. That's what I use. The next thing I found, which is one of my favorite TV shows ever, is Sesame Street's Game of Thrones parody, which has Grover.
It was awesome.
I
laughed so hard.
He's sitting on, literally, it's a golf club. You know how they call the golf clubs irons?
Yeah.
He's sitting on an iron throne made of golf clubs and golf balls. It's pretty amazing, and just reaffirms my love for Grover.
Grover has always been my favorite.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn it. Why do I always have to fight you guys over the good ones?
What are we fighting for?
Well,
We
last
have
time we
good
were
taste.
fighting over... I know, it's true. We like to fight over Dean and Sam.
Yeah, well, it's not like we're trying to get with Grover. We like Grover. That's kind of the...
I just want to keep him as my personal pet.
No, you can't do that.
Aww.
I think the best part of that little parody, though, is, I mean, obviously, it's a game of musical chairs.
Yes.
Yes.
The best part of it, though, is that if you pay attention, and obviously kids are not going to catch these things, but if you pay attention, everyone is a very big spoilery hint towards what's going on in the show.
Yes.
Oh. Now I have to rewatch it.
That's what I love about the Muppets is when they're really doing things well, they're working on multiple levels. The kids are loving it. The adults are loving it too for things that the kids are just completely flying over their heads.
Yep.
And also Nikki's.
Well, we can't help you there.
No.
I know. But the last thing that I found, which for most of us who are part of the Gonna Geek Network, and a lot of us are Doctor Who fans and fans of Game of Thrones. And then the mishmash, so they've been appearing on each other's show. So the latest is going to be Macy Williams.
No.
She looks so weird in her little normal outfit.
So excited. So excited for this.
Her eyebrows are on point, y'all. They're perfect. And then, of course, there was Ian Glenn, who I guess he got taken out by one of the Weeping Angels. It was tragic. Joe Dempsey, Gendry, still rowing. He was in the Doctor's Daughter episode. Then there's Donald Sumter, who was Maester Lewin, who was also, we're going to skip over that part. Skip. Oh, and everybody will notice Thomas Brody Sangster. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Okay, good. He was also in the same episode with Harry Lloyd before he got his Golden Crown. And the two-part story of Human Nature and the Blood of the Family of Blood. And then my favorite, Diana Rigg. She was there. Leanne Cunningham. So we are done with links, people. It's time to get down to the meat of the show.
Dun dun dun.
Hooray! Well, this episode was called The Wars to Come. It was directed by David and Dan.
No, you know what? I have that written backwards. My bad.
No, it was written by David and Dan, directed by Michael Slovis. How dare you mess up the notes?
How dare you not catch that?
And of course, the title refers to Mance's words to Stannis, "I wish you good fortune in the wars to come." I think this is the best. I'm glad you picked this quote. Oh yes, this is the quote of the episode. Oh yes, you'll be queen for a time. Then comes another, younger, more beautiful, to cast you down and take all you hold dear. And the freedom to make my own mistakes was all I ever wanted. From Mance Raider.
Yay! Those were my favorite two people of the episode.
So,
yeah, they were pretty awesome.
So, Michael Hussman, Natalie Emanuel, and Dean Charles Chapman are all added to the main cast with their names appearing on the opening credits. Hooray!
Yay!
They all previously appeared in recurring roles. Obviously, Heisman and Chapman are in the fourth, and Emanuel in the third and fourth season. Natalie's name in the opening credits is accompanied by a butterfly icon, which is a reference to Missandei's native island of Noth, which is also known as the Isle of Butterflies.
I didn't catch that at first.
I did not either. We had 2 deaths. Slow week. The White Rat and Mance Raider. And I know that the opening, we don't want to dwell on the book stuff, but this scene with on the opening prologue was one that I know that a lot of book readers were hoping we would get. A young Cersei and her tag along, or creep through the woods to Maggie the Frog's hut to get her fortune told, essentially. Which
did they ever refer to her as by her name?
No, they did not. At least not that I watched it twice. I don't remember them actually calling her by name, but it is
no, I don't either.
Who's a witch, quote unquote. That whole sucking the blood off their fingers was really kind of creepy. Now, I know I did see on Twitter there were a lot of people who were, she was described in the book as ugly and terrifying. And clearly she was not in the show. But I think I do like the direction they made with her, in that Cersei, basically kind of, not basically, kind of, she implied that was the rumor of her, and she's not really what she thought she was. I thought that entire exchange really kind of established young Cersei has always been Cersei. And I thought that was a good touch. I know a lot of people were hoping for the old crone, hideous, ugly witch, but
I had so many "you're so old" jokes and ready, and then she was not so old.
Yeah, but at the same time, how often have you heard rumors about how this person, this notorious person, is this and they're that, and they eat children and all this other stuff, and then they turn out they're just a normal person. They just look like a normal person, which I think can almost be scarier.
Well, and I got the impression too that like a lot of that was from the perspective of children.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I think that quite a bit of what happened in that little hut was Maggie the Frog kind of messing with the girls a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah. But overall, I thought the scene was well done.
Oh, absolutely.
Question, because I'm going to assume that she's using blood magic. Do you think she's still a type of magi that was back in season 1 that Dany burned alive?
No.
Damn it.
No, and the reason that I don't think that is because that was an entirely different type of magic than what is in the main main continent of Westeros. That's a completely different type of magic.
Also, because they didn't mention it, because in the books she's from across the Narrow Sea, and nobody knows her name, and they just call her Maggie. And one of the theories was that she was a blood magi.
Well, then I guess it's entirely possible. But I don't know. They didn't establish that.
I know. It's disappointing.
Okay, so let's move on to King's Landing.
Where Cersei breaks out of her little flashback.
Yeah, and we see at first we see Cersei arriving at the Sept of Baelor, and I kind of empathize with her, with the High Septon is trying to tell her that all these people have been waiting for so long, and she doesn't want to hear about it. This is her father, regardless of their relationship. This is her father, and she deserves to have some time with him without their interference, regardless of the fact that she's the Queen Regent.
Yeah, and I agree with that to a certain extent. However, when it comes to matters of state, you don't always get the chance to do the personal, what you need personally.
Yeah. Those eye things.
The eye rocks.
Oh my God, they're so creepy.
So creepy. And I'm wondering why I don't remember noticing them on Joffrey.
Oh, I do.
He had them, but I don't remember seeing them.
I think they focused less on the body. Like, I noticed him because I noticed he was also less purple.
That's true. Well, he didn't get strangled to death by poison. So he just has his guts ripped out by a crossbow. And Cersei is so hyper-focused. It's kind of... She's so hyper-focused on Tyrion and her vendetta against Tyrion that she's not seeing the bigger picture.
No.
She thinks she is. She thinks she is, but she's not.
Not even close.
And we also got a glimpse of her jealousy of Jaime.
Yeah. He loved you so much.
He was her favorite. And... did you notice? We saw Kevin Lannister.
Yay! Wasn't he in the first season? Not the first season. What was second season? Third season?
I don't remember seeing him before. But he hasn't played much of a role up to this point. Where he was, for those who haven't read the books, he was quite. He had quite a major role in the books, and a lot of book readers were concerned that he had not really made an appearance of any note until now. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with him, if anything. It might just be that he's there because of the funeral, and then he goes away again.
Well, no, I think he'll be there a little bit longer because I have a feeling Lancel will be there more.
You think because of Lancel's dig at the Queen that it implies that there's more, that he's going to be like a needle in her side, or?
Yeah.
No, I think that because as far as we know, Lancel is his only son. But now he's part of this cult. So now he's trying to influence Lancel back towards being a Lannister, not a Heaven's Gate cult member.
And they called him, are we sure? Well, I don't think that we're necessarily sure that he's part, we just know that he's dressing weird, and, Kevin...
Well, they did say that he was part of the Sparrows,
Yeah, but we don't know who they are yet.
We don't know what?
We don't know who they are.
I'm gonna go with, what are the Benedictine, say the word for me, Benedictine? Thank you. That's what he reminds me of, those monks.
Oh yeah, that's entirely possible, but really that's all we know, is that, Kevin said that he's part of the Sparrows, and he's dressing very weird, and he's apologizing to Cersei for killing Robert.
Well, no, he
didn't really apologize.
He said that I get the feeling that with him, he thinks that Cersei had feelings for him, and that's what led her to kill Robert.
Yeah.
I don't think he sees...
A healthy relationship.
What is the word I'm looking for them? I think he's really naive. He's never...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely... I think it's obvious that he's definitely in the first blush of zealotry.
Yeah, I got the impression that it was more along the lines of he was kind of pointing out, this was one of my previous sins, and I need to atone for that, and I can't atone to Robert, so I'm going to tell you that it was wrong.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Well, I don't want to say it was a complete Ned Stark, but you're telling secrets that aren't supposed to be told. And Cersei kind of laughs him off, but I'm like, the way that he's acting, it's going to come back and bite her. And maybe not, maybe it'll just be more rumor spreading, hey, not only is she screwing her brother, but she's also screwing her much younger cousin. She's a total cougar.
Oh, I think part of it was a warning to her, but I think that, he was I can't make this right, so I'm going to tell you what we did wrong so that you can also atone for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, with his whole, I led you into the darkness, I'm like, oh, you poor sweet summer child, she led you.
Okay, let's move on to Marjorie and Loras. Well, in the first place, seeing Cersei watching over her, obviously flirting, essentially, with Tommen, kind of making him intrigued with her. And she's not too happy about that. But we see Marjorie interrupt Lancel, or Loras, in mid-delecto. Or however you say that. I can't remember how you say it.
En flagrante delicto.
That's the one. And I get the feeling that she's interrupted before.
I get the feeling that she didn't really care.
Exactly.
And what about that parting comment by her that perhaps she's still, when Loras was saying that she's going to be stuck with Cersei, and she's like, perhaps. That's ominous.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to the Free Cities.
Oh, Tyrion.
which I thought it was pretty cool. In the opening, we saw Pentos as well as Marine. Oh, and by the way, did you guys, going back to that for just a second, did you guys notice that Winterfell is no longer burning?
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, Winterfell is no longer burning in the opening. Interesting.
Now I have to rewatch this.
So the locations that we saw, basically, we'll keep an eye out to see if it changes or if it stays the same like it did last year. We saw King's Landing, the Eyrie, Winterfell, not burning, the Wall, Pentos, and Meereen.
Did Marine still have the harpy on top of it still?
Yes, it did. So I will definitely have to check next week when whether it's still there. So in the Free Cities, we first see basically from Tyrion's angle inside the box, and Varys opens the box, and we literally see Tyrion's landing.
Thanks, Lauren.
But did you notice that box? It had poop stains on it.
That was so gross.
Talk about detail. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not. I think I would have been more comfortable without that detail. I mean, you got to give them credit for that, but still, gross.
Well, Lauren also pointed out that Tyrion basically turned into a cat. Like, pick up my poop, now clean up my vomit. Yeah, basically.
Oh, I did not need to see Tyrion puking. That was just gross.
None of us did. Or chugging wine after he puked everything back up.
Well, you do.
Yeah, like, what was that?
Wash it out with water and you go lay down and regret your decision to drink.
Some fun quotes. First of all, I want to let's stop and applaud that scene between Varys and Tyrion. That was brilliant. That was some brilliant acting. They work really well together.
They do. And I think it's probably has a lot to do with the fact that as characters, they're very similar.
Absolutely. Very pragmatic for what they need. And I love some of the things that Varys said. I don't believe in saviors. And when Tyrion was telling him, I'm drunk, and all of a sudden, I never said you were perfect.
He's drunk, he killed his lover, and he shot his father.
Yeah, I never said you were perfect. But looks like we're getting a Varys and Tyrion road trip. Woo! I'm excited for this.
Woo!
With lots of drinking, I feel like it's going to be like Weekend at Bernie's, where Tyrion's drunk for most of it and will not be moved. Okay, let's move on to Meereen. We first see the destruction of the Harpy that we saw in all the promos, which was kind of cool. Although it reminded me, bringing it kind of into modern times, it kind of reminded me of when they pulled down the statue of Saddam Hussein. Everybody's cheering and everything, and I get the feeling that it's going to be a similar turnout where, they're excited about it, but they're not going to be so excited about it in a couple weeks. Well, the only ones who seemed to be cheering were just the Unsullied.
Yeah.
Or, no, there was nobody cheering. Quit confusing me so early in the week.
So then we see the White Rat going into a brothel to pay a prostitute to lie with him.
He just wanted some love.
Just as a side note, for everyone keeping score, at 16 minutes 44 seconds is our first shot of boobs.
Wow, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
That slitting of the throat, I mean, that was... We got spurt and everything. It was like spurting, like we...
Yeah, it was a little realistic.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Yeah, and Miss Sunday had a very, very pointed question. Why are the Unsullied going to a brothel?
For love. Well, not love. I guess to feel... What is the word I'm looking for? Because he didn't want to have sex with her. He just wanted to lay there with her.
He can't have sex with her.
He wanted somebody to hold him.
Yeah, he wanted affection.
Intimacy.
Well, we don't know if they lost everything still. Come on. We're still waiting on somebody to drop trousers so we can see.
We're not going to see that.
Damn it.
They're afraid to show the evil penis. You really think they're going to show an evil penis that's been cut off?
Well, it would look like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
No, I don't think it would. There would be a lot of scarring involved, and I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Thank you. Now, oh my God, now I have the scene from Clerks 2 in my head. With Jay doing the pose.
Yeah.
And the boombox pumping out Goodbye Horses.
We also see an exchange with Daenerys of the old masters trying to get her to reopen the fighting pits, to which she says,
how many times do I have to say no?
She says, hell no. And then Dario kind of mansplains to her why she should.
Okay, so question. That was one of my things that I have written down while I was at work today. So his story, true or false? Because I don't trust him. And I think that he is trying to manipulate her, and that story was fake.
Yeah, I don't know that I buy his story either. What do you think, Rachel?
I'm gonna have to watch that scene over again, because that was during the part when my TV was going kind of insane, and I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it. But I felt like she was being completely manipulated.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, he knew what to say. Like, oh, I remember that time I told you my mom was a whore? Well, she sold me. And that's how I learned how to fight and become an awesome gladiator. And I stepped into the ring and asked them, are you entertained? Or something to that effect.
And then, and of course, Danny goes down to see the dragons who are...
Wait, can we go back to his ass really quick?
Okay.
Can we get him to do some more squats? I kind of felt like his ass was a little too flat there.
Are you really?
You are not even, no.
Aw, nobody was going to sign that squat petition with me?
No.
I'll watch him do squats for the, till the cows come home. But I don't think that he needs them to make his booty bumper.
We'll say whatever we need to get him to do some squats. You all agree with me. Look at Rachel shaking her head yes. That's a yes.
No, it's not. She is not shaking her head, yes.
Let's go back to those...
Yeah, of course, shaking your head is really good audio. And then Danny goes down to see visit the dragons, because Dario said, a queen without dragons is a queen of dragons without dragons is no queen. Which, to a certain extent, I think he had a point. And the babies are quite pissed off.
Okay, so that was another thing that I have written on my nice little notepad here. So I kind of had a question about their eyesight, because I'm assuming that either your eyesight's really bad and your hearing's good, or your eyesight's decent and your hearing's decent, but you've been in the dark too long, you can't see. Because they weren't aiming the fire at her. They kind of were trying to scare her out. Did anyone get that?
I think that was deliberate. They weren't trying to aim it at her. They were just telling her that they were pissed off, that she had fucked up.
They did seem bigger, though.
Oh, they were definitely bigger. But, I mean, when your mom grounds you, you may express your anger, but you're not going to actually try to hurt her. Well, most people. And
Not the
dragons are
Melendez
people.
brothers.
You know, and dragons are people.
She definitely was freaked out by them, though. She was definitely not comfortable.
I'm ready to start the petition to free the dragons, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I don't know. That's kind of okay. So let's have they ever exhibited any of Drogon's murderous tendencies or just aggressiveness? He seems to be, well, like Khal Drogo. He's the aggressive one out of the three. He's the one who's I got the sense that he knew that killing that little girl was wrong and eating her, but because they couldn't find him after they found her bones. It's not like he came back and he was laying on the porch just chilling and then took off. I mean, he was missing.
Still is.
Yeah, Tyrion's gonna catch him.
All right, let's move to the Vale. We saw Brienne and Pod. Brienne is Little Miss Bitter, and Pod is kind of Little Mr. Naive.
Aww. They're gonna die.
Not just Little Mr. Naive, but also Little Mr. Needy.
Yeah. What did you think about that whole thing?
I get the feeling he doesn't want to be left alone because he's never... I mean, look who he used to squire for before. I mean, Tyrion, all he had to do was fetch him wine. He was more like a personal assistant than he was an actual squire.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that he just doesn't know how to function outside of having somebody else to rely on, and nobody's ever pushed him to step out on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, and I felt like I really want the two of them to continue on together. And I really felt like, as I'm watching that particular scene, I'm like, come on, Pod, convince her. Convince her. Don't just whine at her.
Yeah.
Convince her.
Yeah. I agree. Let's move on to... I'm on my wrong page of notes. Robin at Sir Royce's.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Was that the saddest thing you've ever seen, or what?
Yeah, it really was.
You try to find... when I was rewatching it, I'm like I was making excuses for him. I'm like, well, is that how you train a person to fight? I'm pretty sure you have to give him more Jon. Let's go to Jon really quick. When Jon was telling them, oh, you have to pivot, raise your shield, do this. I didn't get the feeling that, I feel like they were just picking on him.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't do this, and then no, you can't, and hitting him.
Well, he is a little bit of a whiny baby.
A little bit.
I was being generous.
Yeah, he was pretty,
He swings
annoying.
his sword like a girl with palsy.
Steve, as we were watching it, Steve kept going, hold your shield!
Yeah. Okay, and let's move on to Sansa and Littlefinger. Dark Sansa.
Elaine.
Well, I don't think they've actually used that name in the show, have they?
And last season they did, because that's how he tried to introduce her to the other lords, and she was like, no, I'm not Elaine, I'm Sansa.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so, thoughts?
On them, I think Sansa is trying to get more information, and Baelish is all here on a need-to-know basis. She's trying her hardest to keep up with him, but she really can't. She's paying attention to what he's doing. When he got the note, and where he put the note. Or maybe that was just me watching him.
No, she definitely watched.
Okay, so that's what I like. She's trying to keep up with him being, Littlefinger, but she really can't. Like when she was trying to pry out where they were going, like she's like, "We're not headed to the Fingers. Where are we going?"
Yeah,
just where Cersei can't get you.
Yeah, they're going west. Where are they going?
I'm glad that she knows her east from her west, from her north and her south.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and she challenges him something about trusting. She says, like, are we going somewhere where you can trust people?
Where you can trust everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's definitely trying to get out of him where they're going. All right, so let's move to the Wall. Stannis wants an army. Mance Rayder says no. And we saw Ghost. Did you see Ghost?
No, I tried to rewatch it. Yeah, I missed him, but somebody mentioned that he was there.
Yeah, when they first go into where Jon is fighting them, they kind of go out on a full shot, and he's down in the front chewing on a bone. Yeah, and then they kind of zoom in on Sam and Gilly.
Poor Gilly, she's so scared.
She should be.
Well, yeah.
But she's still smarter than Sam in a little bit. He's like, I'll go wherever you... She's like, you can't. They'll execute you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah.
But when Stannis sends Jon in to talk to Mance Rayder, that entire exchange between Jon and Mance was one of the best scenes of the show. That and Tyrion and Varys were the two best scenes in the entire episode.
That's also on my list.
Yeah, and I think and it makes me a little bit sad that we couldn't see more of Kieran Hines in the show. But it's just so massive that there's only so much that they can use him for. But I really would have liked to have seen more.
Just on that, I kind of feel like it was a terrible uphill battle for Jon to go in there and try to convince somebody who the whole reason why he became king of the wildlings was because he gave up bending the knee, essentially. He gave up everything that made Southerners. And now you're asking him to, I didn't, really, did you honestly think that he would have bent the knee?
Well, yeah, because, Mance is talking about freedom, and essentially bending the knee is showing fealty to someone, which means you're giving up your freedom, which is the entire reason the wildlings exist. And I have to agree, he can't. It's not a matter of pride. He can't bend the knee. Because even if he does bend the knee, all that will accomplish for Stannis is the wildlings lose their respect and won't follow him anymore.
Right.
Well, they wouldn't follow anyone. I don't think that if, just say hypothetically, if he had bent the knee, the others, they wouldn't, what am I trying to say? I don't think that Stannis understands who they are. There's just this huge misunderstanding. He's like, well, if your king bends the knee, then you're going to follow. And it's they'll probably shoot him with a shank out of a makeshift bow for bending the knee in the beginning.
Well, I think this is even more of a show of how zealotry is basically kind of taking over the kingdom. We're seeing it here and there. Obviously, Stannis has been a zealot for quite a while now. Following Melisandre's lead, and he doesn't understand because he can't understand. It just doesn't compute for him that him doing that will completely destroy what he's looking for anyway. And speaking of Melisandre, she was in full creep mode.
Oh my god.
She's like a creepy cat that just appears out of nowhere.
Now I have a question for you. Mance is the king beyond the wall. She's obsessed with kingly blood. Why doesn't she want Mance's blood?
Well, I don't think the writers thought that out. And in the book, it was different.
Okay.
So I don't think they thought it out in this case.
Well, in this case, I don't know that she considers him a king.
Okay.
Well, in the books, she did.
In the book, she did, yeah. But she never, gave him a second thought here.
Well,
in the
so
show.
would she consider him different than, who can we like the Lannisters? Like, if she got a hold of Tommen, technically Tommen is a king. So would she, even though he's a false king, would you still not consider him a king?
I would. I don't think she does. Simply because there is no throne. There is no... I mean, she sees him as the leader of these people and a way to reach those people through him to get them behind their cause. But she doesn't see him as important. She doesn't see those people as important, except as the fact that they exist in a large number.
Oh, did anybody else catch Mance's eye twitch when Jon said, they're going to burn you?
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
Ugh.
I think Jon should have led with that. He would have had a...
No, it would have been the same outcome.
Yeah.
Because Mance, if anything else, Mance is a pragmatic man. He knows exactly where he stands and why he stands there.
Yeah, I just kind of wish that... Because we were actually talking about it at work. If it was just a ploy on Melisandre's part, like she expected this out of him and just wanted to burn him alive anyway as a warning to the other wildlings, like, follow me or we burn you. Or if Stannis was like, I mean, because he thinks he's the king of everything now. And so did he really expect Jon to convince Mance to join his cause so that he'd have this army now?
Yes.
And
like I said, he's a zealot. He doesn't see a bigger picture because he's hyper-focused on the picture that is in his head.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
So he's like a Cersei with a penis.
No, it's worse because it's religious zealotry. She's hyper-focused on Tyrion because she's always been. She's always blamed Tyrion for all of her problems. Religious zealotry is a completely different animal.
Oh, she's about to find out with Lancel. Lancel's going to burn her at the stake.
I think her primary drive is not religious, it's preservation of self.
Yes.
And therefore, you get a different direction. Like the zealot, so because she's always going to look out for herself.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Zealotry, sometimes you have no idea what direction it's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, at least we know with Melisandre, it's just burning people. And leeches. Oh my god, if she touches Jon Snow, we're going to have a problem.
So,
Are you a virgin?
Oh yeah. Oh, ew. Oh.
creepy.
You know, I couldn't tell if he was disgusted. I couldn't tell if he was disgusted and that's what took so long to answer, or if he was like if he was just confused, like, why are you asking me? Because it took him a while, and I'm like, are you grossed out like I am? I think you're grossed out.
I think he doesn't know how to take her. He's never been confronted by anyone like her before, so I don't think he knows how to take her right now.
Who does know how to take her?
Not me.
God.
But
She's so creepy.
Stannis.
I don't know about you guys, but I was totally cheering when Jon put that, shot that arrow right into Mance Rayder's chest.
Oh, absolutely. And I knew it was coming the second Jon walked away.
Really? I didn't. I thought he was just disgusted and didn't want to see him.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't
burned to death.
either.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a horrible way to die. I mean, what's going to kill you first? The flames or the smoke from the flames?
Yeah. And as a side note, there were no actual flames on set.
Aww.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was all green screen.
Okay.
Damn you, Melisandre.
And we put out the word earlier to get fan reactions, and heard from Default Prophet. He feels it was a strong start. It makes it really hard not to watch the leaked screeners, but he will persevere.
Well, thank you.
And Ferris said he felt like the episode lasted about 15 minutes, which he guesses is a good thing. And he also said,
it went quick.
yeah. He says, funny how an arrow in the heart can be an act of leadership.
Yeah.
I agree. Excuse me. And we just want to thank you for listening. And any final thoughts, Rachel, Nikki?
No. So far, no. Oh, I have been getting texts from one of my friends, the evil Corey, the entire podcast about how he found the screeners, and he's been sending me spoilers. So I will be strangling him later. So if you see me on the news, get my bail money.
That's not cool at all.
Get your bail money.
Yeah.
And you can reach us here at Tyrion's Landing at tyrionslanding@gmail.com or tyrionslanding.com. You can find out how to contact the three of us. And we have Tumblr, we have Pinterest. Have you been keeping up with Pinterest, Nikki?
I haven't even been keeping up with my own Pinterest, but I'm going to pick back up as soon as I get off of Tumblr.
Well, we will have all of the links from today's show on the Pinterest, right, Nikki?
Yes, as soon as I find the password.
And once again, we are now part of the Gonna Geek network. And if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, the most recent episode of Walking the Walking Dead is an all-American edition of The Walking Dead. Steve Boyd and Chris Farrell give their take on Season 5 finale of The Walking Dead, Conquer. What did they think of this crazy finale? Listen and find out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I don't have that in my box.
Well, you do.
Yeah, that's not even the right one. It's a waste of $12.
Oh, gosh. So go to GonnaGeek.com and check out Walking the Walking Dead. And we thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget my bail money.